has been just seeing Europeans who decided to make the trip over the ocean into the States just do a road trip tour across the country to follow their favorite football team as they play across the nation. The main thing is they've been making pit stops along the way and just been getting wowed by how much ridiculous shit we have to offer over here. If you enjoy this video, this card at the end will take you to another one like it, and if you do enjoy, be sure to drop a like and subscribe with notifications on so you never miss an upload. Now, to be honest, we're going to be focusing on like a few people who have been getting the most reach, and it should be said ahead of time that this genre of my first experience in America type posts are a content goldmine year-round, and it's basically had its stock supercharged because of the World Cup, so there is some incentive for these people to like play up their reactions and say they're shocked by every little thing that they've never seen before for engagement's sake. But also for engagement's sake, we're just going to take these people at their word because it's more fun that way. I'd say the person getting the most attention out of this kind of posting, arguably the main character of our story today, is one Twitter user just named Freddy. I'm told he's an established name on football Twitter. I wouldn't know, I don't go there. But for me, I started seeing this guy with just like little things he said popping up on my timeline, like the family-friendly Coke machine that gives you 40 more billion flavors of soda to choose from. And while these are pretty common in the States and like have all the excess that seems really fucking signature of the gluttonous core of the empire, I know they also definitely exist in Europe, so nothing too crazy. This next one made my heart personally happy as my guy went to Waffle House and said that he had a really good time there. Most people you take to Waffle House for the first time understand why you insist they had to go after they've actually been, even if in your pitch you didn't really have anything nice to say about Waffle House beforehand. But when things started getting real for Freddy was when he actually started going to our stadiums. This is the most the European mind can't comprehend this moment of my life. One of my friends said, "Punch me 5 times tomorrow and I'll still think this isn't real." This is the Jordan Hare Stadium at Auburn University. It has a capacity of over 88,000 people. For reference, in Europe, there are only 2 stadiums with a higher capacity than that on the entire continent. Stadiums this size in Europe tend to be the home of some of the biggest sports organizations in the world. There are roughly 20 stadiums with an 80,000 or more person capacity in America, more if you include the ones just shy of that 80,000 number. And the one that Freddy found himself at is the home stadium of an American college football team. That's not to say that we build shit like this for nothing. There is an audience to make use of it. It's just that college sports are genuinely that big of a deal in the US. And as if to greet everybody who is coming from overseas to watch some of these games, Freddy spotted an eagle flying around the stadium that he was at. Speaking of flying, I saw this other guy, Thiago, experience his first ever sports flyover. This is a thing other countries definitely do, but from what I understand, they usually reserve that sort of thing for like big important events. In the US, for some reason we do it for comparatively little stuff, like you see a stealth bomber flying over a stadium what feels like weekly for whatever reason. And honestly, it's a thing I think we should do more of. It would be nice if the ridiculous amount of military aircraft we made could just be like relegated to hype moments and aura instead of bombing foreign nations. From what I've seen of Thiago's travels, he's been spending most of his time in Chicago. I've personally never been to the city, and I definitely want to go. It's like the biggest city in the US I haven't been to yet. But this dude just got jump scared by this shit. I had to look twice before realizing there were cars in these towers right in downtown Chicago, and now I can't stop looking at them. How they managed to integrate a huge parking lot so well into the cityscape fascinates me. It's so aesthetically pleasing for some reason. I have no idea how I never knew that this existed in Chicago. I feel like it's something I should have heard about. And to me, it really evokes this wide spectrum of awe you can feel when looking at all the different shit there is to see in America. A spectrum where both extremes can somehow be exemplified by how insane the parking situation is. Because everything is about cars here. It's either a giant lot that takes up a square mile to service a single Walmart, or somebody figured out how to build it into the base of a goddamn skyscraper. Also, just a quick reminder, you can use code QUITE at the first link in the description to get 10% off Cheeky soap. This stuff is what I use to stay clean day in and day out. It's got good moisturizing properties, which are great for my dry ass skin, and they have a subscription option that sends new bars of soap to your door so you never have to worry about running out. If you pick some up, it helps out the channel. Anyways, back to the video. I mentioned it earlier, but one of the other cool human interest stories is that Algeria has been posted up in what some might consider to be bumfuck nowhere, that being Lawrence, Kansas, home of the University of Kansas, and the locals living in the town seem to be really happy about the whole thing.
I want to say thank you to Team Algeria for choosing our hometown, Lawrence, Kansas, to come here and gained independence from France kind of around the time I was born. So We don't know too much, but we want to welcome you here.
The U.S. is such a big place that for every team to have a home base with adequate facilities, we were going to have to start putting these teams in some not-so-obvious spots. And while there are definitely fans of Algeria and Lawrence, Kansas, for those who live there and, usually aren't, it's just really cool to see the locals take to it and get excited about being involved. It just makes my heart all warm and fuzzy. And it also brought up this very good point. Beginning to think that spreading World Cup teams across mid-sized college towns in the American heartland was a stroke of genius. It was really funny because doing that has inadvertently led a bunch of people who are in the States for the first time to experience everything that comes with being in a college town almost on accident. Like for Freddie, in an update to his road tripping progress, just posted a video of him cruising down an empty street in the middle of the night and some footage that looks like it could have been taken out of the Greylock tapes. Hotels in Auburn were too expensive, so he decided to do a night drive further south. Final destination, probably Tuskegee or Montgomery. Ah, yes. Another American college town tradition, hotel price gouging. If you've ever had to visit a loved one or a relative when they're in college and needed to book a stay, fuck me, dude, that shit is not cheap. A quick side quest I want to take is that even when getting validation from foreigners visiting America for the first time, a thing that has made Americans more collectively prideful than we otherwise might feel right now, interstate beef still finds room to blossom. Freddie shares a site he saw saying, somewhere in Tennessee, just showing off some of the beautiful vistas in a video. And someone quote tweets it saying some shit like, I think this is the beauty of the United States, that we citizens take for granted. You can take a video of this anywhere with any state, except Oklahoma, and witness pure beauty in nature. To be clear, you absolutely can take videos of beautiful places in Oklahoma. I haven't found them yet, but if you've got personal beef with that place, none of the reality matters. The agenda comes first. Your state sucks, mine is better, and unfortunately these agendas must be maintained for the average American to maintain homeostasis. Other small little side bits that made me giggle were people saying that they saw a yellow school bus and they screamed in excitement about it. Listen, I'm not stupid. I know when I'm being pandered to for engagement, but sometimes I like being pandered to. It makes me feel special, especially when I've done nothing to earn it. For me personally, it's the coolest when I hear these little stories about people visiting the States for the first time and meeting real people who live here on the ground. Elsa was talking about the first breakfast she had when she got here, saying that she went to a spot where the owner named Jackie has been at it for 40 years. And Americans like to be helpful to those visiting. The replies to Freddie and other people who have been touring the nation were just giving suggestions of the types of things they should check out when in certain areas. Freddie in particular was getting told to go to the strip club a bunch, which, if he has the time, probably isn't a bad shout. But as Freddie has been live tweeting his road trip plans, one major possible destination on his path became clear to anybody who's been in the area before. This motherfucker was set to run into a Buc-ee's. If you don't know, Buc-ee's is a, and I'm using this term loosely, gas station chain that serves mostly in the southern United States. They have an awesome beaver mascot who is cool as shit and rocks. And if you ever walk into a Buc-ee's, you're basically required to buy the merch they have on sale there. Utility-wise, they're best known as road trip pit stops, and for having some locations that can rival the size of an average Target, just in the middle of nowhere. Dude, Lamau, this is a gas station. The entrance of a Buc-ee's in the middle of the night has the motion of a poppin' concert venue that has 24-hour non-stop popular acts. Look at how long the row of gas pumps at this bitch is. That thing stretches farther than the frame of the picture it was taken in. If you turned your phone camera landscape-wise, you probably still couldn't capture it all in frame. And would you believe me that even with this much capacity to crank oil into cars, it can still run the risk of getting backed the fuck up? The way the roof is designed, held up by stone pillars with the insignia of the House of Buc-ee's emblazoned at the very center.
I love truck stops like this. It's like a cultural experience. It's really fun when you're on a road trip and you're like, oh, I'm going to go to a really big, truck stop, and they are like this. They're huge and they're kind of culturally cool.
It evokes the imagery, the classic construction and architecture of ornate pavilions, where the citizens of civilizations past would meet to debate ideas and find the best path forward in their future. When in reality, as Freddie put it, it's technically just a gas station. But if I really wanted to lean into the pageantry, Buc-ee's doesn't exactly make it hard. You got the sculpted statues of the beaver posted up outside certain stores that you can just take a picture with as tribute to the Lord and Savior. And the real magic happens when you step inside one of these fucking monstrosities. Half the damn place looks like a food court. And Freddie said that he and his gang hadn't eaten anything except like a chicken sandwich from Walmart that day, which I'm gonna let slide for now for the sake of taking in the beauty of what's in front of us. In the US, at like a ton of like these gas station convenience stores, you can get all sorts of food. Usually the regional chain you're gonna go to depends like where in the country you are, like maybe a Sheetz or a Wawa. But they also have stuff like this in other countries too. What I'm pretty sure they have less of in other places outside the States is stuff on the sheer fucking scale in the middle of bumfuck nowhere that you can see at a Buc-ee's. And if Buc-ee's could break someone's brain, there is one place that may or may not be on Freddy's path that would damn near have that shit leaking out his ear. Freddy's final boss, the Bass Pro Pyramid.
Yeah, the Bass Pro Pyramid is so bad.
Can proudly say with my full chest that this is an excursion I can personally co-sign. Honestly, I haven't even begun to touch the sheer scope of shit people from overseas are running into for the first time and get slack-jawed at. And if this video does well and you guys want to see more of that, I'd be happy to oblige. As the World Cup actually gets underway, I can only imagine how they're going to feel about like all the 4th of July bullshit we do, like Joey Chestnut eating a bunch of hot dogs. In general though, a lot of people in the States would agree this is a pretty low vibrational time to be living here, where a lot of us are not particularly united or proud of the shit we've been doing all over the world as of late, not to mention the general direction of the country. So to see your home through the lens of a stranger experiencing it for the first time puts into perspective what you shouldn't take for granted, even if there's always work to be done. Probably especially because of that. That's all I got. The card I mentioned should be on screen. Be sure to drop a like and subscribe with notifications on. Anyways, this has been Quite, and I'll see y'all next time.
Now, you may know on the main channel, I have a Okay. Look, I know I've showed it a lot. Please go and watch it. It's very good. There's big animation, 2D, 3D, Markiplier. I know I've said it all before. Also merch here. Nice merch that you can buy right now. Link in description. But please watch the video or I'm giving up entirely on the main channel and only uploading slop for the rest of my life. I love talking about Kanye West on this channel. One of the greats, never gets into any controversy whatsoever.
Netanyahu.
Now, this story doesn't even involve Kanye West. It's basically just a symptom of him existing in our timeline. So there was this high school graduation and there was a valedictorian speech. And then a student who was accepting their award gave the beginning quote that Kanye made about a certain Austrian painter.
My biggest inspiration once said, "Every human being has something of value that they bring to the table."
And then another student clocked that, and then when they went to accept their award, went up to explain to everyone what it was referencing, and her mic was pretty quickly muted.
Historian Kyler William Hosek quoted a 2022 interview with Kanye West from InfoWars. What Kyler forgot to do was finish the quote. Every human being has brought value that they...
Now, this happened at the Hoggard High School in North Carolina, not to be confused with Hogwarts. Also not to be confused with the very briefly lived Mogwarts. Dude, I made a joke saying the website died. It's still here. The School of Luxmaxing. The URL is literally mogwarts.net. Dude, they got an article on like, okay,
Yeah,
jaw, eyes, fair enough, height. How do you change your height, bro? Yeah, let me put some titanium stilts in my legs when they break my femur, so I can sound like that guy from SCP in the Femur Breaker. So the valedictorian who made the speech was Kyle Hosek, and he gave the quote from someone that he directly said was his biggest inspiration, which was that every human being has something of value and to bring to the table. Now, if you don't know where that quote's from, it's the beginning of what Kanye said on that episode of Alex Jones's InfoWars show. Now, Kanye did say that, but the valedictorian didn't actually finish the statement because it ended like this.
Every human being has something of value that they brought to the table. Especially hip.
And then the other student, Sarah Rudisil, again, she was also graduating. She went up to speak about it and her mic was cut. So according to local news, Kyle's family put out this really bizarre statement about the speech. So they didn't even try to like defend it or say it wasn't about Kanye. They said it was a positive outlook on the future of AI, emphasizing the growing opportunity for all of us to make profound societal achievements in the future. So they somehow basically said, it wasn't a Kanye bit, guys. AI though, woo, the wonders of AI, oh my God. So the district superintendent also analyzed the speech and they basically went through the procedures and they couldn't identify any connections because again, what he says sounds so generalized. It was just you know, very ironic that Kanye said the same thing and then finished it in a very different way.
Especially him.
I'm about to level up and you look like just enough XP.
So Sykkuno was under a lot of fire 2 months ago. There were loads of people making videos about it, myself included. But now, after 2 months of pretty much radio silence, he's back. The XP has been gained, and a lot of people do think that this break that he took actually wasn't long enough. So his first stream back was actually about a month and a half after he left. And he said that while he was gone, on stream, he was working on himself and repairing the damage that he did to his relationship. If you don't remember, and I don't blame you, because something that happened 2 months ago is basically 3 years with how fast the internet moves. Sykkuno was basically accused of talking to a lot of women when he was still in a relationship. But not a lot of people really seem to care about that because it made mainstream attention. So most people actually spent their time memeing on him because he just talks like an anime character.
Only because you're here.
And then there were also messages like him saying that his XP bar was low. Again, I just find it insane that 2 months ago, this was just the thing that everyone was talking about, and now most people don't even remember. So he basically said on stream that he's been working every day to try and make things better, and he's also made a lot of self-improvements. He said that him and his girlfriend, who stuck with him, are doing a lot better, and they're headed in a good direction.
In the time I've been gone, I've been working every single day to try and make things better. It hasn't been easy, but I'm glad to share that we made a lot of improvements, and we can confidently say that we're doing a lot better. We're in a position where we could be happy together, and we're headed in a good direction.
But the reaction that a lot of people gave is they thought that this was really insincere, and the length of the break doesn't actually reflect on someone who's actually remorseful. But again, no one really cared about that. They were still making fun of him for having, you know, that voice.
Scary.
Nah, not again, bro. Nah, you not. Same guy you doing again.
I like how Jason here is just absolutely mind broken over this. Like, when he came back after his break, he didn't completely change his voice and just sound like Corpse Husband. Like, I understand it. He does have a bit of an anime voice, like kind of, oh, you're the only one I want in my heart. Like, I don't know what you expect here. He's not going to immediately change his voice overnight.
I do think, like...
Bro, is your XP bar not full enough? Is it not full enough?
Yeah, stop vaping, bro. Come on, drop it. And then later on, Sykkuno ended up defending his decision to return to streaming, saying that coming back to playing games isn't crazy. And he said that there's a lot of people who still believe that he can change, and he's going to choose to listen to those people over the people that hate him.
If I'm forced to choose, right? Do I listen to the people that hate me and want me to be gone forever? Or do I listen to the people who still believe in me and maybe see potential there?
But then other people weighed in as well. Like, for example, Pokimane, who frequently collaborated with Sykkuno in the past. She actually talked about his return on her own stream. And she said that Sykkuno was gone for a month and a half, saying that she spent longer over situationships and that all he did was post a few sentences and then take a vacation. Again, I don't think the best comparison here is to make it about you. Streamers!
I saw Sykkuno's back after a month.
Is she wearing a watch? What's this fucking bit?
A month? A month and a half?
Oh.
I've spent longer getting over situationships. I'm not joking.
I understand. It's a different community entirely. I understand. I will never have a community like that, but it all just feels very performative. So Roblox has done a big oopsie again, as always. Now you might remember that a while ago, they were one of many companies to roll out facial age checking in order to keep adults and children separated in game. And as you may also know, a lot of these companies that ended up using face scans were so easy to spoof. Like, you had people that were using pretty realistic looking games like Death Stranding. You know, you scan your face ID as Sam Porter Bridges, you're good to go. But then it was easy as using like Dr. Breen from Gary's Mods. And then when it would ask you to smile and stuff, people would use like the tool to give him a giant grin, like you're watching a YouTube poop from 2009 or something. Open your mouth, he's got no teeth, man. It's the fact that it worked as well. Now, you know, as the example I've shown, these it's the fact that it worked, man.
Open your mouth.
It's the fact that it worked as well. Now, you know, as the example I've shown, these facial ID scans, they're not really that accurate. And then even Discord actually got a lot of backlash for announcing their plans to enforce age verification on their platform. So there was a report made on Roblox recently, and one of the main reasons that they're so keen for age verification is because there are so many lawsuits that are being levied against them. Like there was one example where the FBI found that there was an Australian man who was basically posing as a child in Roblox, doing all sorts of abhorrent things on there. And obviously, because if Roblox has a bad reputation, all the stockholders pull out. Big company make change? Nah. Big company lose money? Okay, make change now. So it seems that what they're trying to do with over 150 federal cases against them, they're trying to quietly move them out of the public eye, basically moving it into closed door arbitration so it doesn't get like any kind of media attention. And in order to do this, they're citing something from their terms of service. You know that thing you get whenever you install a new game and it's like 50,000 paragraphs and it basically just says, yeah, if you don't like the game, we're going to come to your house and kill you. But no one reads that. You scroll to the bottom, you press yes. This, in their terms of service, basically says that if you play the game, you have no rights or ability to sue us in court, or at least open court. So arbitration, for any lawyer larpers that want to know about it, it basically takes place outside of a public courtroom, and it's presided over an arbitrator, not to be confused with the Arbiter from the Halo franchise, that being instead of an actual judge or jury. So instead of it being like a huge open case with loads of media coverage, imagine like the courtroom in the second Joker film, even though that film is very mid. It will just be the involved parties, legal representatives, and then the arbiter. Did I say arbiter or arbiter? Halo. Just imagine the arbiter from Halo. So, talking about more legal proceedings, recently there was a judge that cancelled an entire trial after learning that lawyers on both sides were using AI. Now, something that critics of AI like to talk about a lot is hallucinations. This is where learning machine models like ChatGPT will generate information that basically came to them in a dream. It is completely made up, but they still present it as fact. And one of these hallucinations that will happen will basically just use completely made up court cases for reference. That's what happened during a case in Mississippi where a Louisiana lawyer sued the city of Aberdeen, Missouri, claiming that he was never paid for his involvement in a solar power development project. So he was being represented by 2 lawyers, and the city itself was also being represented by 2 lawyers. And all 4 lawyers were punished for using AI, citing fake legal cases in the court filings. It just blows my mind. It wasn't one lawyer that was secretly on ChatGPT. They were all cheating. They were all trying to cheat the test, and they all got caught. So the judge wrote that basically all 4 lawyers were in violation of Rule 11 of the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure, where they certified that the legal cases they had were real, and they weren't. So this is the equivalent of that one guy in the friend group that just makes up a complete lie to act really like cool and Chad. But instead of it being that one person, it was everyone in the Discord call trying to one-up each other. So lawyers on both sides were barred from working for 2 years, and one of them was fined $2,500 and the other nearly $4,000. Now, Miss Wilson, that was one of the lawyers who was punished, told the judge that she was using something called First Drafts, which is apparently an AI-powered program for drafting legal documents. And she used it to generate 2 separate filings that contained 4 just entirely made up and fake cases. It also cited loads of cases that weren't even in Mississippi to begin with, so they couldn't even have been applied in court. Your Honor, my defense is, it came to me in a dream. So when she was confronted about it, she said that she was unaware that AI could produce hallucinated cases. What a professional way of saying, I'm a dumbass. I had no idea that AI could get things wrong. No. It's the thing that, like, does everything. It's perfect. It took my friend's job last week. Who wanted to work, who wanted to be an artist. And the thing is, with this Miss Wilson that I mentioned, the lawyer who's been barred for 2 years, unlucky, this isn't the first time that she's been caught using AI. Apparently she was disciplined for it in a bankruptcy court case back in April. I have just had the terrifying idea that you're going to have so many people in professions and they are just not trained for it. They could literally just be LARPing because they're using AI to do all the work for them. I mean, as a lawyer, you are literally paid by the hour a lot of money, usually to do research to help build up a case. Not just type in AI and be like, did thing happen in place? Please be honest. Now, if you've ever played Fortnite, or more likely watched streamers play it on the second monitor while you're doing something completely different, you may have noticed that the game has visualized sound effects. Now, this is a setting, you know, sounds like footsteps, car noises, gunshots. They're all represented with like a ring around the player with their location in the ring corresponding to where the sound is coming from. Now, this was originally meant to help people that were hearing impaired. A lot of games are doing this now to try and be more inclusive because, you know, some people, they can't hear, they might not even be able to see. You know, I mean, a good example, as much shit as The Last of Us 2 got, it did actually have a feature that you could basically play the entire game if you were blind. The game supported functions where you would hear audio cues. But the thing is, a lot of people that were using this feature weren't even really hearing impaired. They were just sweats trying to get an advantage on other people. But the problem is now, because of a recent update, a lot of people have been complaining that the changes to the visualized audio effects have made basically everything just significantly worse. And I'm not talking about the sweats being able to hear someone 50 kilometers away. More people that are genuinely hearing impaired and their experience with the game has now been ruined. You know, because again, if you're not a sweat and you're genuinely deaf or something, this feature is more than a convenience. It's an accessibility tool, and it helps people find the locations of sounds like footsteps, gunfire, you know, so they can actually play the game. And they said that the recent changes have made them operate at a
Oh no, I didn't know they did that.
significant disadvantage now. They were unable to rely on subtle audio cues to determine where players were. And there was a lot of people on Reddit who also totally agreed. They were also hearing impaired, and they said themselves that the changes have made the game entirely unplayable. So, Nick A30, master of Fortnite, you think you're the king? I'm the king! Nick A30 is most notably known for setting up these huge LARP events where he tries to recreate scenes from Marvel films. Usually one small child gets in the way and he just immediately bans them. I'm the king! But it seems that he almost broke character and had a major, insane crash out on stream.
Pyro's hard drive got full during the recording, so I'll take it from here. This clip of Nick A30 where he finds a guy in the lobby with a Sprite.
That's a rare one!
Then follows him out of the battle buzz.
Oh my gosh!
Lands with him and kills him, taking his resp right.
Yes! Look! Oh my god!
This then led to a fallout on Twitter of people pointing out Nick's hypocrisy, as he would condemn this behavior if used against him.
Oh my god!
Him and kills him. This clip of Nick A30 where he finds a guy in the lobby with a resp right.
That's a rare one!
Then follows him out of the battle buzz.
Oh my gosh!
Lands with him and kills him, taking his resp right.
Yes! Look! Oh my god!
This then led to a fallout on Twitter of people pointing out Nick's hypocrisy, as he would condemn this behavior if used against him.
Oh my god! Look at all these replies, right? Like,
ironically, later that day he died with a rare sprite, had a cry and reported the guy.
yeah.
Everyone's favorite streamer, the Faithful Chud, also chimed in on the drama, as he was very disappointed by his fellow family-friendly streamer.
If this is real, I swear, Nick, you have lost all credibility and respect from the Fortnite community. If this is true, you suck.
He said this is one of the worst things you can do, and it probably led to a child crying.
That 8-year-old is probably like, Mom, Mom.
In the past, the Faithful Chud has told children on Fortnite they will go to hell.
So look, if you were to die in your sins today, you would be sentenced to hell.
Anyway, that's really about it. Yeah.
Many moons ago, after I was outside my dad's vast difference, but much before I was hitting puberty and getting some hair on my Google Gops down there, I encountered a man who said he was never incorrect. I thought of this man a lot. He said, I know everything on the earth. I know how the birds fly, I know how the bees move, I grasp it, I understand everything. And I think of him a lot. That man said he could stop a car. He was off his gourd. Just a little bit crazy, one might say. He walked in the middle of traffic, and a car stopped. I believed him for a little bit, till a second car came from behind the first car, and then crashed into that car, and then ran him over, and I watched that very unhoused man get absolutely annihilated. It was traumatizing to me at my tender age of 10 years old, and I think about that a lot. I didn't really grasp the concept of life loss. I thought he was just going to be injured, and he was going to keep moving. I had seen people on TV get hit by cars and be perfectly fine, but this was a very traumatizing moment. But it made me understand that people that think that the entire world will stop for them are very, very, very unwell mentally. And I think of that. I think of those people, and I think of Donald Trump all the time when that happens. Today, we're going to be talking about Donald Jamarcus Trump.
You had a friend who thought he could stop a car with his body? Is that what you just said?
Bombing the Strait of Hormuz, or more so, bombing Iran. So, has Donald Trump said today about bombings today? Let's check what he's on about.
Mr. President, on Iran, you posted this morning about Iran, and you said that they've taken too long to get to a deal. I want to make sure I quote you correctly. You said that now they will have to pay the price.
Yeah.
What did you mean by that specifically?
Well, we're going to be attacking them very hard.
Resuming bombing?
You fucking idiot. Okay, guys, I think I'm going to stop here. I'm tired and I don't want to be up all night, so I'm going to stop somewhat early, as it is about 1:15 in the morning, and I want to be in bed by like 2, I think. I think that's a good time, so. Just a reminder, you've been watching Skycat Live. I'm a full-time Friday gamer all day, every day. Put me on in the background. I love you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Come to skycat.live. Click on the cat space to donate. Come to the Twitch or the YouTube. Give me a like, sub, or a follow. I am going to walk for 5 miles tomorrow and then do a normal shift, and so that will be tomorrow. And, yeah, and I look forward to that. I will be there and stuff, and yeah, and so I'll double check my phone. I am going to stop here with a reminder that I have thousands of videos on my YouTube channel. I record every single day in its entirety, and I don't edit ever, and I include everything I do, so both warts and all. So come to my YouTube channel, which is reflected here, and you will see many thousands of videos. I love you guys. See ya. And I will be back tomorrow. Bye. This session, recording-wise, is going to end here, but the stream will continue on while I title videos and listen to this video, and I'll stop within the next 5 minutes. This stream is winding down. If you want to go to a different channel, I don't blame you. I love you guys. Thank you so much. Bye.